Why would you want to visit France?
Because this is beautiful.
This is beautiful, huh? What is beautiful about France that makes you choose France? Da Nang is beautiful.
No.
Yes, Da Nang is beautiful. Very beautiful. That long beach. Scooby Rooby Doo. There we go. How are you?
I'm fine.
Is that your new red zebra outfit?
No.
You sure? It's the red bumblebee. No? Maybe?
No.
just red and black striped shirt, right? That's it. Did you get your hair done and you did makeup and everything all ready for your test? No?
No.
All right. Okay, Ruby. Let's do Canada and the maple tree. Now we're going to read those two parts about the Canada a little bit. And then we're going to read about making maple syrup. And then I'm going to ask you some questions like last time. And we'll see how much you understand. And we'll see how you use your grammar and your vocab when you're telling me about maple trees and sap and syrup. Do you know syrup? Have you ever eaten pancakes?
I like.
You like pancakes? Do you like ice cream?
I like pancake.
Yeah. Do you like ice cream too?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you ever put chocolate or candy or anything on top of your ice cream?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good when you put other stuff on it, peanuts maybe. What do you put on your pancakes?
What?
When you have pancakes, pancakes, what do you put on it? Do you put butter? Butter? What do you put on your pancakes when you have pancakes?
Syrup.
Yeah, you have syrup here in Vietnam. So you know what syrup is?
Yes.
It looks like honey, yeah? It looks like honey when you can put honey on your bread or on your pancakes. Okay, let's try it. Let's read about Canada is in North America. Let's do it.
Canada is in North America and
Canada. Canada.
Canada
There you go.
is in North America and is the world's second largest country. Canada is famous for its mountains, lakes, and forests, and for its very cold winter. The Canadian flag is red.
The Canadian flag
is red and white, and in the center there is a maple leaf. The maple leaf is the symbol of Canada. In autumn, the leaves
on the trees.
Leaves on the maple trees change from green to red and yellow, and they make the forest look very beautiful. You can see the maple leaf on a corn to grown maple leaf. Corns are made from Pure gold.
Pure, made from pure gold. You can see them on number 5, gold maple leaf coins. You can see the picture there. Yeah, you can buy
Pure
those and
gold.
collect them. Yeah. Pure means 100%. Wow, 99.9% gold. Pure.
Pure gold. And are very expensive. Canadians use maple trees for many things. Wooden houses are popular in Canada, and some people profit.
Build. Some people build their houses. Some people build their houses.
Some people build their houses from maple wood.
Yeah, the wood from the tree, from maple trees. Yeah.
You can see beautiful tables and chairs made from maple wood, and many people's homes.
People's homes. Yeah.
Perhaps the most famous product of the maple trees is maple syrup. It is very sweet, and people all over the world like to eat Canadian maple syrup on their pancakes and ice cream.
Yes, it is very popular. It's expensive, but it's popular. I had some maple syrup at an embassy party in Hanoi a couple of years ago. That was really cool. It was nice to have maple syrup again. Okay, so making maple syrup. Let's see how they make it. The next little reading.
Making maple syrup. Maple syrup comes from the sap of the maple tree. Sap is the liquid inside the tree. At the end of winter, people put taps into the maple trees. They put more taps into bigger of the trees. The sap runs out of the taps into buckets. People empty the bucket every evening.
Every evening and every night. Yeah, at the end of the day, when the sun goes down, they take the buckets and they empty the buckets. Probably in picture B, where you see that big cooking pot. So they empty all the syrup. Not the syrup, all the sap. After
about 4 weeks, people take the taps out of the trees. Each tap produces.
Makes, yeah. Produces.
Produces.
Yeah.
About 45 liters of sap in a year. The taps do not hurt the trees, and maple trees can live for about 30 years. People boil the sap to
boil.
Boil.
Just like oil, but with a B. Boil. Boil. Yeah.
Sap to make maple syrup. They boil it for a long time. You need 40 liters of maple sap to make 1 liter of maple syrup.
Okay, so 40 liters of sap, right? Sap is what comes from the tree. And we have to boil that for a long, long time. And we only get 1 liter out of all of that. So that's you need a lot of sap. So what is sap? Where do you find it?
Sap is the liquid inside the tree.
Yeah, a liquid inside the tree. Is there any liquid inside of you?
What?
Is there any liquid inside of you?
No. Oh, yes.
Yeah, what is it?
No.
Yes, there is. If you cut yourself, what happens?
Water.
Water. Your water comes out if you cut your finger and bloop, bloop, bloop. Water?
No, no water.
What is it? You remember what that is? It's all red. Blood. Yeah, we have liquid inside us. We have some water too. We have different kinds of liquids, but we have blood in our body, right? So if you put a tap in us, we'd have blood. But for a tree, it's called sap. Sap runs through all the tree, the branches in the body, the core, the trunk. So what's a tap? Do you have a tap in your house? Where in your house do you have a tap? You probably have 2 or 3 of them.
Kitchen.
Yeah, to turn the water on, yeah? Water taps. And you probably have them in the bathroom, right? You want to take a bath, take a shower, you have to turn the water on. Do you have one outside? Do you have one outside?
Yes.
Yeah, to fill up the water, buckets for cleaning if you want to wash your bicycle. Yeah. All right. So we already said, where does sap come from? It comes from the maple tree. Well, like all trees have sap. It's just this special sap is the one that we use to make syrup. In Vietnam, you have a very famous tree that you collect sap from. Do you know what it is? It's a rubber tree. Down in the south, I've seen some of the plantations where there's many, 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 many hundreds, thousands of trees, and they have all the taps on them with the buckets. Same. And they're taking the sap because that sap is a part of what they use to make rubber. That's what they told me, to make rubber. You know rubber? You know rubber? Do you know what rubber is? Do you know what rubber is? No? Yes?
No.
This is rubber. Yeah, the rubbery thing you can use. Sometimes you have your sandals that are made of rubber, different kinds. There's hard rubber and soft rubber. But in Vietnam, you use sap as one of the ingredients to make rubber. Yeah, it's not in the book. It's just about Vietnam. I also remember as a kid, I was told that gum uses sap as well, or it did anyway. Native American Indians used to take the sap from the trees and you could make gum. So when I was a kid, we tried that. We would take the sap from the trees and we would chew it. And it turned into gum. You could keep chewing it and chewing it. Eventually it got very hard and it was like wood flavor, of course. So imagine eating a tree. It wasn't very tasty, but it was cool. So we did it anyway. It was cool. All right. What time of year do people collect the sap from the maple trees? When do they start putting the taps in and start getting the sap?
That's the end of winter.
So now, winter is the cold months where it snows up north. Here, it just rains a little bit. It gets cooler. That's right. And you're up in the Cam Pha area. So there it can go down to like 10 degrees. And then you have the summer, right? Woohoo, time to go to the beach. But what are the two other seasons? There's 4 seasons, right? You have summer, and then you have, and then you have winter, and then you have, and then back to summer. What's the season after the winter? Do you remember that season?
What?
Do you remember the seasons, the 4 seasons? Winter, summer, and what are the other 2? Right? 4 seasons in northern and southern countries.
Spring.
Spring, that's right. And the leaves fall off the trees when?
And
It's in the first reading. Remember, they talk about how the leaves turn, they turn, the change color from green to red and yellow, and then they fall off. What season is that?
oh,
In the West, we call it fall, but the English or the proper one, I think, is autumn. So you have the summer, then you have autumn, and then you have winter, and then you have spring, and then the summer starts again. So the end of the winter would be the beginning of the spring. Yeah. And they only take the sap from the trees for a short period of time. How long do they collect the sap from the trees? How long?
4 weeks.
Yeah. So that whole business, they only do it for 4 weeks a year, according to this. I didn't know that until I read this. I am Canadian, but I've never gone to see a maple tree farm or anything like that, farm or plantation. So they only do it for 4 weeks. So they better have another job. So how do people get the sap out of the tree or out of the trees? How do they get it? They just go up to the tree and say, "Hey, Mr. Maple Tree, give me some sap."
Buckets collect the sap.
Right, but how do you take the bucket and the maple tree, and how do you get the sap from the tree into the bucket? How do we do that? How does it connect? How do we get?
They put a tap into a maple tree.
Yeah, they put a tap into it and then they open it up and then the sap starts coming out. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. How much sap comes out of a tap each year? So in that 4 months, how much sap can you get out of one tap? How much sap? So we're looking for liters, right? You can measure in liters.
45 liters.
That's not much, is it? Each tap produces about 45 liters of sap in a year. And it takes how many liters to make 1 liter of maple syrup? 40, yeah. It said at the bottom, 40 liters to make 1. And they only get, on average, I guess, 45 liters a year. So you have to have thousands of maple trees if you're going to make money on this. Wow, that's a lot, a lot of trees. Okay, how long can a maple tree live? How long can a maple tree live? 50 years? 100 years? Some trees live over 100 years. I'm sure they do. The big redwoods in the forest, northwestern forest. How long does a maple tree live for? 5 years? Same as a dog? 12 or 13 years and then it dies?
30.
How long? Yeah, about 30 years. I find that very low. I thought trees lived much longer than 30 years. So I'm a little surprised with that. But that's what they say. So we'll go with that. That's what it says in the reading. What about you? How long can you live? You, Ruby Dooby Doo. How long can Ruby Dooby Doo live?
I don't know.
What's the average that people can live?
100.
Some people can live to 100 years old. That's true. But the average is not that high. Only a small percentage of people get to 100 years old. Most people, the average is in the 70s. I think women is high 70s, 77, 78 years old average. And men is lower, maybe 72 to 75, something like that. It's in the 70s. Women can average almost up to 80 years old. Now, of course, some people do live to 90. Some people do live to 100. Some people have lived, I think the oldest person ever, as far as I know, I think is 123 years old or something like that. Can you imagine 123 years old? That's old. How old are your grandparents now? Do you know?
What?
Do you know how old grandma and grandpa are?
67 years old.
Okay. That's all right. I keep talking more to help you build up more listening skills and slow it down and explain, because I really want to help build your comprehension so you understand more. Well, not last question, but this question. How much sap do you need to make 4 liters of maple syrup? Now you have to do some math. Right? 40 to make 1. So if you want to make 4, how much do you need?
4.
4 liters. How many liters of sap do you need? Well, if it takes 40 liters, 40 liters to make 1 liter of sap, and I want 4 liters of sap, then that means I need 40, 80, 120, 160 liters of sap to make 4 liters of maple syrup. Like that. All right. Last question. Now, we talked about Canada. If you could pick any country in the world to visit, which country would you like to visit and why? Now, it could be Japan, it could be Indonesia, it could be America, it could be England, it could be Australia, it could be Africa, any country. Which country would you like to visit and why?
I visit to.
I would visit. You don't have to say to, because you're going to say the name. I would visit.
With the friend.
With friends? Sure, you can bring anybody you want. You can bring your family, you can bring your friends, you can bring Mr. Trevor. No? Don't want to bring Mr. Trevor?
What?
I said you could bring Mr. Trevor too. Which country would you visit and why?
Because.
Which country? Which country? What country would you visit? Any country you want.
France.
France?
France.
French? You would like to visit France?
France.
Is that the country you would like to visit?
Yes.
Okay. Why would you want to visit France?
Because this is beautiful.
This is beautiful, huh? What is beautiful about France that makes you choose France? Da Nang is beautiful.
No,
Yes, Da Nang is beautiful. Very beautiful. Got long beaches and national parks behind us and mountains. Very beautiful. So
Yes.
what would you like to visit in France? Or did you just say France because you're not sure where?
I don't know. I like France.
You don't know if you like France. Can you think of a country that you do know something about and you would like to visit? Can you think of any countries that you would like to visit?
Japan.
Japan. What do you like about Japan?
This is work for manga.
Manga, the cartoons?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you'd like to see some of these animation studios and all that kind of stuff with all the very popular Japanese animation. Anime, is that what they call it? The anime you like, yeah?
Yes, I like anime.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay. That's it for today. We are finished. And I will edit up your video and I will send it to you soon. And I'll see you in Interest 4 next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.